This video is sponsored by Core. Core is the new free game creation platform that lets you build, publish, and play games. It's a great platform for game jams, especially if you want to quickly set up a 3D multiplayer game. You can get started making games right away using thousands of free, high-quality music, sound, and art assets, all with no coding required. But if you really want to dig into it, Core lets you create your own game logic using Lua. You can build games from scratch or remix and reimagine content shared by other creators. And when it's time to publish, your game will go live in the Core platform with the click of a button. Right now, Core is hosting the Secret Spaces Game Jam along with extra credits. There's still plenty of time to join and use Core to make an amazing world that anyone can enjoy and explore. Not to mention the $3,500 prize pool. Core is completely free, so be sure to check them out by clicking on the link in the description. Hey there, how's it going? I really like game jams, like a lot. I did my first game jam back in August of 2018, and in the almost 2 years since, I've participated in at least 20 game jams. I've won, lost, failed to complete, and become a judge as well. So I guess you could say I'm a fan. And considering the number of game jams going on at any given time, I don't think I'm alone. I frequently get asked how to do well in game jams, so I sat down and put together a list of the things that I've noticed over the years of doing game jams. Don't take these as rules that need to be followed. These are just my observations that I think can be helpful to keep in mind when working on a game jam game. Number 1, make it short. Typically, at the end of a game jam, players will play through the game submitted. In my experience, no one plans to only play one game in a sitting. Usually, the plan is to play through several games so you can rate and give feedback. However, if your game takes 30+ minutes to play through, there's a good chance that they won't finish your game. Or, in worst case, they can subconsciously be annoyed that it took so long to get through your game that can actually hurt the feedbacks and ratings they leave. I found 10 to 20 minutes to be the real sweet spot. 20 can still be a bit long, so I would keep it closer to 15 ideally. It leaves the player feeling that they had a good experience, but didn't spend the majority of their limited free time that sitting on just one game. Playtime can be hard to estimate, especially since we are always better at our own games. I have a general rule of thumb that I've found to be fairly accurate. I take the time it takes me to play through the game as fast as I can, knowing everything I know about the game. Then I triple it. It's not perfect, but I found it gives a pretty good average time to expect from a first-time player. There are a lot of factors that can affect this, obviously, but the main point is, a shorter polished game will look better than a longer game with rough edges. Number 2, make it simple. This can sound negative, but what I mean by this is to not introduce more and more mechanics as the game goes on. I love games where as I play through, new mechanics are added, but remember that each mechanic takes time to implement and test. Scope creep is usually the number one reason that I see for why people don't finish game jams. So choose your core mechanics early, and use the time you have to make them feel great. On top of this saving sanity for us devs because it keeps the workload reasonable, it also makes it easier for the player to really get into the meat of the game, because they will have time to be able to learn the system without more being added too quickly. And a player that feels like they understood the game usually gives better feedback and ratings in my experience. Number 3, make it easy. And when I say easy, I mean easy for you. We forget how good we are at our own games simply because we know everything about them. We know the quote-unquote correct way to play, and because of that, we tend to design levels that feel fun to us, forgetting the level of mastery that we inevitably have compared to a first-time player. My usual advice is, if you think a level is hard, make it easier. If you think a level is easy, make it easier. I jokingly say when you think a level is boring, that's just about right. I say this because in a game jam, you're not just getting players trying your game that like the genre of the game you made. For example, you may have players trying your platformer that don't normally play games like that. Maybe they mostly play puzzle games and haven't really ever played a platformer before. They're going to be lacking in the fundamental knowledge and muscle memory that you've developed over many years of playing those types of games. This can lead to frustration in those players, which can affect your feedback and rating. It does take a little more time, but I've found success with including levels that I thought were fun and just labeling them hard. Also, bonus tip within a tip. Don't use easy as a label for a game mode. No one likes feeling like they have to play on easy. It shouldn't have negative connotations, but unfortunately it kind of does. Make your easiest difficulty normal and go up from there. Many times I've watched players finish the normal difficulty with more trouble than I expected, peek into the hard section for a level or two and say, well, I already beat the game, this is just extra challenge. And they walk away happy because the game wasn't left incomplete in their mind. It's a really small change, but I've seen it be really helpful, so it's something worth considering. Number 4, make it pretty. Like it or not, visuals matter. You don't have to have amazing art, but the quick developer art of just kinda drawing an image on something with the mouse generally makes a game look worse. Don't get me wrong, we all do it. This is what every camera looks like in my games. But the difference is it's never seen in-game, unless I forget to turn off the debug key. This tip is mainly for the pure developers out there that claim they don't have any art skills. And if you don't want to team up with an artist, I would suggest you go more abstract. Find a color palette online. If you're really new to this, stick to a color palette with less colors. Use simple shapes, along with things like particles and scaling to show action in place of animations. This will give the game a look of intentionality as opposed to unfinished. Also, not using the engine's default font will really help sell polish. There are plenty of free font sites out there, and it makes a pretty big difference in my opinion. Number 5, make it rested. Remember to take breaks, eat, and sleep. Especially if it's your first game jam, you will feel the need to be working non-stop to get everything done. Resist that urge. We work better when we're rested and in a good headspace. Grinding for hours on end can lead to more problems, and time lost due to fatigue-related mistakes, more so than the time you would have lost had you taken that break 2 hours ago. This changes based on the length of the jam, of course. I wouldn't take time to go sleep if you're in the middle of a 12-hour jam. But remember to listen to your body and take notice when frustrated, because that's when complications that will appear in the final hours are written. That's my top tips. All these are much easier said than done, of course. I think in all the jams I've taken part in, I've only followed all of these tips at the same time once. In the end, it comes down to this. Think of the player and what will make a good experience for them. But also, don't forget about yourself. I hope these tips have been helpful, or at least made you think in a different way. If you have any more tips that you think would be helpful to others, please share them in the comments below, and good luck on your next game jam. I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially David Scott, MLK, and Scott Hansen. You are all awesome people, and I truly appreciate the support. Also, thank you to the sponsor of this video. Don't forget to check out Core. It's completely free. Just visit coregames.com or click the link in the description. If you would like to play most of the games I've shown in this video, you can head over to vimlark.itch.io. To get in contact with me, you can stop by my Twitch stream where I'm always doing something related to game dev or pixel art. Message me on Twitter, or join the Discord with a lot of other really cool people. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will talk with you next time. Have a good one. Later.